I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago when the strength of men failed at keeping force feedback within our grasp. But could it be true? Could it be that force feedback controls for flight simulators are finally making their return?
Hey everyone, Grey Wolf here. Welcome to the channel. By now you've probably heard the buzz. Force feedback is making a comeback for flight simulators. And thanks to Moza, I've had the chance to spend a few weeks testing their new AB9 force feedback stick base. And I've got some early impressions for you. So, plus a sneak peek at their MH16 Stick Grip. Since some of you might be new around here, I suppose I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Grey Wolf, voice actor and narrator, but also a longtime flight sim enthusiast. So I've flown all the classics to all the aerodynamic sims past and present, starting with their SE-27 flanker sim in 1995, right up to DCS World today, of course. I've also got some IRL private pilot time, organized and announced some air shows here in Nebraska, and serve as an authority board member for a local regional airport. So yeah, aviation's a big part of my life, both real and virtual. I've had the pleasure to have flown with the Virtual Blue Angels in the past, in their Hornet, Phantom, and Bearcat EFMs. I've created a few airshow demos to help debut some of our beloved heat blur modules, the F-14 Tomcat and the F-4 Phantom. And you may recognize my voice from various DCS campaigns and training missions like the Hornet Instructor or Pedro Benito from the UN Huey campaign. After that, of course, if you still haven't guessed it, I'm also the voice of Heat Blur's Jester AI. So you can catch me streaming flights a lot of times on Twitch with my homies in DFA. And I also co-created one of the popular DCS multiplayer servers called Grey Flag. All right, enough about me. Let's get to the hardware, shall we? Whether you're flying formation or nailing an aerobatic routine or locked in a life or death dogfight, it takes practice to be ahead of the aircraft or know where that bleeding edge is. Kind of like a Formula One driver hitting their perfect racing line, shaving off a quarter of a second from their best time. In your aircraft, being locked in, hitting your marks and putting on a fantastic aerobatic routine, or getting an epic reversal on your opponent in a dogfight is part of what makes flight sims the most fun, in my opinion. And that is one of the reasons I have been most excited to be able to try out this product, because force feedback will, of course, help you feel where that bleeding edge of the envelope is. In this video, I'll do my best to articulate the experience and walk you through what kind of forces the AB9 stick base produces and just how customizable the feedback is, so you can decide if it's the right fit for your setup. A big time shout out to Moza for sending me the AB9 base for testing and review, and letting me give a sneak peek of the MH16 flight stick as well. It's been a professional working experience with them. They are really excited about this product, and they've always been super responsive and open to feedback throughout the whole process. And so it's just been great working with them. So I also want to give a special thanks to Jabbers for helping me along the way in my Moza journey. And a huge shout out to Slimothy, one of our Grey Flag supporters, for lending me his spare Warthog grip to test with the AB9 base while I waited for a compatible grip to show up. So, and with that, let's dive in. This blew me away, guys. So I can't wait to share more about it. Unboxing and first opinions of the AB9 base were pretty good. It was packed well and came with all the required mounting screws needed for a custom setup or use with their desk mount they'll be offering. The AB9 base has a fair bit of weight to it, as you can imagine, being a force feedback stick base. It's of course all metal and has a sleek look to it, I would say, and it's certainly easy on the eyes. It has plenty of mounting options from either the bottom or the rails on the front. And as far as mounting this, it certainly wouldn't work just sitting on top of your desk. It's 100% going to need bolted down and secured. Personally, I am not using the desk mount. I plan on showing you maybe a quick clip of what it looks like mounted with the Moza desk mount, but I have mounted it as a center stick to my own home-built flight seat. I had to make some modifications for it, as you can imagine. And let's face it, if you're looking into one of these, I can't recommend enough that you have some sort of mounting solution as a center or side stick style at the height that would be most comfortable sitting in your chair. It adds so much for immersion. I mean, why go half-assed with something like this? Treat yourself and do it right, dog.
So the Moza AB9 base has, a serial connector similar to that of the Hodis Warthog. Hodis Warthog owners will be experienced with that. And, threaded base. It is got USB hookup and a 6-pin DC power connector. It's definitely got some weight to it. You're going to want to bolt this thing down. So it will be possible to have stick extensions on the base here as well. So no worries there. You will be able to extend your grip just fine. And taking a quick look here at the MH16, a little sneak preview, is as you've seen in some of the clips just prior, looks, obviously very similar to a F-16 grip or an A-10 grip, and they've added their little kind of bolt-on hat switch and 3-position switch here. So that's going to just screw onto the base just fine. If you want to use an extension with it, you certainly can. It will just take a small set screw is all. So, all right, now with that all out of the way, it's time to go fly. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into DCS World in my beloved F-14. So while the game loads, let's go ahead and take a look at the software here. So we've got the Moza cockpit software open. We've got the AB9 stick base selected. And just a few key points here on the software is we have, some built-in presets, which is absolutely amazing. So you get a real nice baseline to start from, or just click and go. If you're like me and a smooth brain and don't want to do too much configuring and you just want to get right into the action, just fire off a preset and you can go to town. So we've basically, these are the ones that ship with the software. We've got the F-14 selected, and so you can really customize anything about your experience that you want to have in whichever aircraft you want to have. The presets, you can configure new presets with different spring force, damper force, inertia. You can replicate a P-51 or a Spitfire and have it act more like that, with having more resistance and force based on airspeed. You can have it act exactly like an F-16 force sensing stick, where it just locks everything up. And I'll show a bit more on that later, because it's kind of fascinating and fun to experience. You can have some presets set up for helicopters and have all these sliders set to best represent how a helicopter you think should feel. And you can do all sorts of stuff, like we scroll right a little bit here. There's helicopter specific stuff, vortex ring state, ETL effect, all of that. And I can't wait to show you. I'm going to fly the hip a little bit later, because that's just truly a unique experience. I mean, it all is, really. It blows my mind, because at first I thought force feedback, I was so curious to try it, because I just thought it'd be force, right? I didn't think at all that it would be so much feeling the aircraft throughout the whole regime of flight. You can literally feel the blades slapping. And I tell you what, with this thing bolted to your chair, it almost acts like a butt kicker. I mean, so if you have a setup like that where it's bolted to your chair, you're gonna feel it, and it's pretty cool. All right, so we're here in the F-14, and one of the first things I'll go ahead and show you is the force trim. More prevalent and appreciated in helicopters, as you can imagine, but it's still very, very nice to have in jets. So with the force trim, I'll go ahead and full screen my stick cam here. And, so I'm going to go ahead and trim aft, because I need to do a lot of trimming aft here. And the stick is moving, and I don't know if you can see, but, the stick is actually moving IRLZs, so not a little too much, but so we'll go forward a little bit.
and just kind of level, get roughly level, trimmed for the airspeed of about 400 knots or so. And we'll showcase that a bit more in the helicopters. So I'll get back to scene cam here. All right, so what the heck is that? El Rojito? What is he doing here? This is a private server. Is that boss fight music? What is happening? I don't like this necessarily. Holy crap, that's a Jiminy Christmas! He just fired an A9 at me. Okay, I guess it's fights on then. I gotta get rid of some stuff. Okay, guns, let's go. Let's keep him close so he doesn't get another A9 off. Oh god, dump some flares. Oh, he's gonna go in for guns or something. Anyway, I guess this is a impromptu introduction to the AB9 base as we get jumped on by El Rojito here. Okay, all right, there we go. Got a bit of an overshoot there. And this AB9 base is gonna really let you know what the aircraft is doing as I just load the crap out of it there, and it let me know, and that cost me dearly. So it is shaking like crazy as we load up our jet, and I have just really put myself in a situation where I have lost sight of him. Oh god, there he is. Let's see if he can keep with this. Oh my god, he's about to gun the guns on me. Pull, baby! Holy cow. Oh, I am so slow. Let's put some trust in those B engines. He's going high. I'm gonna have to follow him up there because he's coming back down. Oh no. What have I done? I lost all my airspeed. That black jet silhouetted against the sky. Come on, Tomcat. You load up this aircraft, getting past those 15 degrees or 15 units of AOA. Oh, that was not the best snapshot I've ever done. Whoa, I flew through his jet wash. I felt that. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, I hit him. Oh gosh, oh my gosh. Whoa, Nelly. This is just an absolute knife fight in a phone booth, as they say. And I am certainly glad to have the AB9 for this, because I can tell right when I'm getting up to the edge of the envelope in this aircraft. Oh no, this is not good. Oh my gosh, this is just too much for my heart. Okay, we can build some airspeed back here. He's got a mountain to deal with, maybe. Oh, I sawed his wing off! Holy moly! Oh, there's two chutes. There's two chutes. El Rojito lives to tell the tale of his battle with the AB9 force feedback stick base. Damn, and oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, you feel everything in this thing. You feel the flares, you feel the gun. I mean, can you see that? That's just the stick forward moment and the shaking. And I mean, this thing has all kinds of different vibrations and feedback that it puts out, which really just blows me away. And just as you saw there, I was able to use the feedback to really know, along with the visual cues, the audible cues, to know where my aircraft was in the regime of flight. And helped me get a little bit of an edge, if I do say. All right, so well, that was a quick look at the F-14 and a dogfight with the Moza AB9 base. And, you know, you can just absolutely feel everything that the aircraft is doing. You know, when I kind of mentioned there about the unloading and just really feeling it kind of almost buck
and it's surprising at times. It'll surprise you, but it'll also help you learn. And that's the most important thing, is just learning where your aircraft is in the envelope, to just provide you the best, well, feedback, I guess, on what you need to do and what the aircraft is about to do. So just an absolutely awesome experience with it. So let's go ahead and move on to the F4 Phantom, and I'll showcase a little bit of something that happens certainly in all aircraft that you experience. But we'll go ahead here and load up the F4. I am in the cockpit. We got the stick cam here, but briefly I need to switch profiles here. So we've got the F-14 that we just flew selected. So, and we can do this on the fly as well. That's one of the coolest things about this software and this setup, is you can change all these settings while you're flying, change which presets you're doing, change other settings in here in these different tabs, and you can do it all while you fly. So fine tuning is going to be just really nice for if you have this. So we'll go ahead and select the F4 Phantom, and I'll hide the software here, and we'll get in and showcase something that happens in all aircraft, being releasing some weapons. So we're in the F4 Phantom now, and I'm going to go ahead and get all trimmed up here. I'm just going to do a level bomb here as we kind of briefly just showcase this. And go ahead and just watch the stick. I mean, we'll go to the full screen of the stick. You got the jet in the bottom right, and I'll just release weapons. And it's just, it lets you know that weapons are coming off the jet. And that's the same thing with firing missiles. We'll go ahead. There we go. So one comes off the jet, and it just gives you, a quick stick bash. Let's fire another one. Boom. It lets you know. It gives you a quick buck. And I mean, that's something you're going to experience in every jet. So it won't fire off anymore because I have the centerline tank on. So, but yeah, that's just a quick showcase with releasing weapons. And, we'll go ahead and just load up the jet here. And it's just like in any aircraft, it's going to provide you feedback on hitting those angles of attack, shaking like crazy, even more. I mean, just more and more stick shake. I know. And I'm being interrupted by the doggo. Hello. So, well, I guess I need to take a quick moment and let the puppy out. So we'll come right back here in like 3 seconds after I let the dog out, and we'll move on to the Viper real quick. So, all right, and we're back, and the dog has been let out. So let's go ahead and jump right into the F-16 and showcase a little bit about that. So let's go ahead and go to our Moza software and select the F-16 preset. And just for illustrative purposes here, and let's go to the F-16 preset, and it's going to lock up everything, all the sliders to the right, and turn it into a force sensing stick. So just kind of highlights a little bit of the customization that you can do with the software. And it's just completely open-ended in that you can, completely have it reflect upon each and every aircraft that you're flying. So let's go ahead and fly here real quick, hide the software and unpause. And I'm barely moving the stick, and I'm getting, force sensing like replication on this here.
just ripping around. You know, I can pull through it. Like it's possible to pull through and overpower the force feedback stick base, but like I don't need to. I don't feel like I have to pull through the maximum force needed in order to pull through that. But like, you know, I can do everything I need to do. I can pull max G's by just doing a little bit of back pressure, and it's gonna sense that and replicate it. So, you know, just being able to get a product like this and have it reflect completely the aircraft you're trying to fly in that moment and change completely on the fly is just gonna be such a nice addition to your cockpit, if I must say so myself. You know, doing these maneuvers, it's no issue at all with how little actual stick travel I'm doing, because it's able to sense the force needed in some way. Whoops. So you do have to get used to it, right? I mean, it takes some getting used to, but it's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and jump into a helicopter now, as many people have probably been waiting for a helicopter. So let's go ahead and switch over to that. All right, so now we are in an Mi-8 helicopter, and that is also another area that, of course, the AB9 stick base shines in. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over here and show the software real quick. We have selected the Mi-24 preset, even though we're in a Mi-8, you know, same, but still different, but still same. And so we have in that preset the telemetry tab here, the helicopter checkbox, and we've got vortex ring state, ETL effect is on, and all of these are in here. So overspeed vibration, helicopter or engine and rotor rumble, and we're gonna see what that feels like in the software here in the Mi-8. So let's go ahead and hop in the pit. And basically right away, you know, I don't know how well you can see the stick, but it's just got a subtle rumble, and you can just absolutely feel the engine going and everything. So we'll go ahead and lift off here. We're just going to be transporting some crates and some troops to defend our SAM site we're going to set up. We're going to set up just a real quick Cub site. We're here at Cairo West on a certain server. And so let's go ahead and go over here to the east side of the airbase. And so we're going to go ahead and trim. We're going to get in forward flight here, and we're going to do our trim. And boom, there's our trim. There's a little bit of a wiggle because I have to center my rudder pedals. I think I'm going to disable that setting because I'm so used to just holding the rudder pedals where they need to be. But with my current trim settings, I have to center the rudder pedals real quick. So I've trimmed, and the force feedback stick the base is just holding right where it needs to be to maintain that forward flight and trim setting. So we're going to go up here on top of this hill. So I'm going to go ahead and start slowing down, pitching back, and I'm going to retrim, center that pedals, and boom, it's holding that new position. And so trim is going to be key for flying helicopters. And just flying the Mi-8 here, you know, I almost feel like I can tell which way the rotors are turning based on the subtle thumps I'm getting from the stick base. I mean, it really truly feels like a helicopter. So anyone that's got a virtual reality setup is certainly going to love one of these. So we'll go ahead and start slowing up here. I've trimmed. Go ahead and trim one more time. just for getting into a hover. And we'll go ahead and set that. All right, so we will dump off our first launcher. We'll pick back up and we'll kind of sweep over here to the right. And we'll straighten back up. Get it settled down. Set back down. And we'll drop our other crate. Unload. All right, you guys, you know, hang out there and set up the site when I come back or something. So lift it off. We're going to go back and pick up some more crates. And we've got a fair bit of forward pressure on the stick here. And I don't want to be keeping that forward pressure in, because that would make my arm tired, obviously. So go ahead and hit the trim again and let go. And there she is. Do a little bit of correction here to the left. Hit trim again. She's going to hold it right there. I have no idea where I'm going. Let me look at the map, which is going to be a lot easier to do with force trim. To be able to look at the map and not die. All right, I am way off course here. Oh, there it is. All right, so we've got our logistics trucks over here. Start slowing down. A little bit of a left pattern here for the dirt over here. Oh, there's a little landing pad actually over there, some helicopter pads. So doing a little bit of back pressure on the stick, and we'll trim. And now I don't have to hold it anymore. And we'll sweep around over here to land. So yeah, sweeping through that ETL transitional lift, you can certainly feel feedback, and it's gonna help you be a better helicopter pilot. All right, so we're down. We're gonna go ahead and get our crates here. All right, we've got our 2 Cub launchers. So we're going to go ahead and lift off here and take them back to the site. So go ahead and lift up, and we've got a pretty good trim here set for a hover. So let's go. Get established in that forward flight. Get up to speed. I'm going to go ahead and trim. And then I'm going to trim again. And that's it. She's going to hold it right there for you. Make your small corrections. Trim again. A little too much forward. Trim again. It's a lot of trimming. But it's a lot less work as well. And it's going to update that spring, you know, tension based on that new trim position. Right? So now I got a lot of back pressure here as we're slowing down, so I'm going to trim. And it's going to, you know, the wobble there is from me having to manually recenter my rudders because of that setting, but, you know, that's fixable. So I trimmed really hard left there, and I've got a lot of pressure here on the right, to the right as I loop back around. So go ahead and get centered up, and I'm going to do a lot of right cyclic. So we'll hit trim, and that's going to get us right where we need to be. And we'll come back in here and land. What's up, dudes? I better set up this Cub here. Early morning cyanide, the targets are going to start coming alive. All right, establish the hover, trim, Slowly correct. Stop the motion. And we'll set her down. Bonk. Yeah, when the wheels touch the ground, you feel it. When you fire weapons, you feel it, as I mentioned. You also feel wake turbulence. That's a cool thing as well. Oh, that was a little harder. I don't know if you saw the stick as I felt it, but it let you know that was a bit of a hard landing. Alright, let's unpack this up. Make it live. Alright, and that's basically it. So we'll go ahead and lift off. Let's get out of here. So that is a little bit of the Mi-8 or helicopters in general. And it's going to be very pleasurable to fly with force feedback. So, whoop, that's a radar. So let's move on to something else, shall we? And well, I suppose that something else is going to be the end of this video. So I certainly did not expect it was going to be over 30 minutes. And it is my first review video that I've ever done. So for those of you who have made it this far, thank you very much for sticking around, and maybe throw a like, hit a subscribe. Might be more of these in the future, you never know. It is certainly a lengthy process, but one I had an absolute blast doing. So thank you very much to Moza for sending me the AB9 force feedback stick base and their MH16. An early look at the MH16 flight grip. I had an absolute blast. It's going to be my daily driver for sure moving forward. Just everything that it does, the customization that you can do in representing every aircraft, and just fine-tuning it, all with the program open, getting that feedback that you need to get that edge on your opponent or make that perfect aerobatic maneuver. It's just going to add so much immersion, and especially if you pair it with virtual reality or a big monitor like myself. It's just going to add a lot to your setup. The Moza AB9 force feedback stick base retails for $549 US, and the MH16 is $169. Nice. So yeah, it's a bit of a pretty penny, but when you look at it compared to other systems that are out there that are not force feedback, it's really not too bad. And if you're wanting to go that little bit extra mile in making something really special for your setup, especially if you have a way to bolt this thing down, I tell you what, bolt it down. It's going to be a total game changer. It's going to be worth every bit of the money you spend and the customization you do on your setup to make it fit. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe toss a like or subscribe. I don't remember if I even mentioned that anymore. It's very late, and I've been dying to get this out to everyone. So, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, toss them down in the comments below. I'll try to get to as many as I can. Join the Discord below in the Gray Flag community. I can talk, it's late. And so, thank you. We'll see you next time.